Self-improvement is not going to change your life. Realizing your identity is not the source of your truth will. My name is Amina, and today we're going to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while. And it's the fact that a lot of people focus on their identity way too much. We're talking, genres of books from self-help to spirituality, always talking about, who you are and what you present to the world. When in reality, what I've learned in exploring all these truths that people have presented via, books and podcasts is that the more we focus on who we are, the less we realize it is not about the identity which we embody. It is about the essence that flows through us, regardless of whatever identity we have claimed. Think about different moments in your life where you went through an extensive amount of changes. You went through an ideological shift, you can call it a physical blow up, whatever. There is one thing that remained the same within you. I don't even have to explain it to you. I'm sure you felt it. You're not just hopping into these different spaces of time and reality without carrying that same core essence along with you. I'd like to explain this with the scientific theory known as quantum immortality, and I'm bringing this up because it provides a good visual of the core essence that I'm discussing and the flow of that. So the quantum immortality theory discusses, if the idea that consciousness is the building block of reality, then it is safe to assume that our consciousness is traveling to every version of reality where we are still alive. So you can kind of imagine it as these different sort of depictions of the Earth plane. Every time you die, you actually don't. Every near-death experience, every small moment that could have led it to your demise, your consciousness travels from that timeline to a timeline where it worked out and you're still alive. So it's this flow, a flow. And this is how I see how your core essence will always travel with you regardless of whatever identity you're carrying at the time. I know people who go from being a yogi to being a professor to being a carpenter to being a venture capitalist. I mean, this is pretty extreme of an example, but you see that a lot of people change who they are throughout their lives, and they think that it is this changing in identity that is providing them their truth at that moment. But it is not, because that is not something stable that you can rely on. If you know that human beings are adept at changing and evolving, whether it's for better or for worse, you know that that is not something stable you can rely on. But it is the essence that is flowing, like I depicted for you there with the quantum immortality example. It is that essence that is flowing that remains truthful. It remains stable. I see that as the only thing that truly belongs to you. And in realizing this, I found so much freedom in my self-expression. I don't truly care to define myself by any verbiage of, well, I am a yogi, or I am a critical thinker, or I am a student, I am a mom, I am a daughter, whatever. All these different roles we place upon ourselves, roles that are bound to change because identity is not fixed, will only send you into a spiraling of greater destabilization later down the line. You cannot put all your eggs in this one basket of who you are, because that is not stable. Your truth should not stem from your identity. Your truth should stem from the only thing that is truthful about you, which is your core essence. And this is something that I can't further explain, because your core essence is something that is felt. You feel this on days when everything around you is quiet. When you wake up early in the morning and there's no one else around you except for the birds chirping and the sun rising. You feel this in moments where you're completely in awe of the landscape around you. Everything is quiet. That is when you feel the flow of your core essence. So I want you to think back to a time like that. Think about what it is that your core essence feels like. And I want you to think back to all the times where you went through the most identity shifting periods of your life, 0 to 360. And I want you to comment down below if you can remember whether this core essence of yourself was traveling with you through all these moments. Whether it was in the smallest gesture or the exchange that you had with a stranger. What were these moments where you remembered, oh, so I still have this core truth inside of me. It's just my mask is changing. I'm taking off my mask and I'm putting on a different one, but the inner essence of who I am remains. It's very important that we all become aware of this. We're living in very destabilizing times, and people are grasping at straws for some sort of groundedness. And that's where religion comes into play, because religion gives you this framework that is very binary based. I'm not gonna get into that right now. That's a separate video. Anyways, that's why people focus on religion so much, because it is an externalized sense of stability. You know, you don't even have to know whether it's factual or not. It gives you a sense of an unchanging. But what if you, instead of externalizing truth into something that is not wholeheartedly you in your authentic spirit, you instead internalize it and realize that your core essence is the truth that you are searching for. Your core essence is something that is unchanged. It is that stability you are seeking, and it is the only stability you should reach for in your lifetime, because anything else is simply an illusion. Any identity, any place, any person, it's all an illusion of reality. Okay? So think about what would be left of you if all the layers of your existence were stripped away, right? I'm taking off the clothes I wear, I'm taking off the hair, my features, my face, the place that I reside in, the people around me. What is left of me? What is left of me? Is it this ball of light? Is it this sparkle? What is that? Envision that and picture it and feel it. And that's when you realize what your core essence is. And you'll realize that it has been with you this whole time, regardless of the smoke and mirrors around you, regardless of the illusion of change around you. That is the truth. That is the only stability you need. Focusing on your identity is not going to give you any sense of eternal peace or sense of groundedness, because your identity will change. That is the great part about being human in this world, is your identity will change. So if you rely on your identity for a sense of truth, you're stepping into a burning building. That's just the truth of it all. If you'd like me to explain this more, feel free to comment down below any of your questions, and I would love to answer them. I find this topic very intriguing. It has opened up a lot of doors for me, so I figured I would share. Anyways, all my resources, if you want to work with me, I'll link down below, and I'd love to see you in my next video. Subscribe to my channel and like this video for more.